Thursday, and we've ripped that into an old school theme show Thursday as well. Yeah, he's the coach. He's the coach at SFU, and he joins us this evening. Kelly Bates, the former BC Lion, on the line. What's going on, my friend?
At the current moment, this is my downtime where we make a playroom for my girl who turns 5 years old tomorrow. So we started about 10 minutes ago, and we got to have it done in about 20 minutes. So that's what we're doing, buddy.
Yeah, we'll get an update from you about 1:15 a.m. I know how those projects go.
You are probably pretty close to being dead on, pal.
Congratulations on getting the gig up at Simon Fraser. It didn't look like you were going to get it a couple of weeks ago, Kelly. What does this opportunity mean to you?
Well, I sort of feel like I've won the lottery. You break it down to the simplicity of it. Two major things for me. I get to continue to do what I love doing for a living, which is coaching. I mean, as a Canadian, to be paid and paid well enough to support my family and do it for a living, I mean, that's a great thing. And secondly, my family and I get to stay in the same neighborhood my wife grew up in. You know, my daughter gets to continue going to the school that my wife went to, and basically we get to have, you know, some great family that are very important to us who are right around this area, continue to have an influence on our lives. So I think there's a win-win. You know, I get to go up the hill and start to affect the program and put my vision together and do what I think is best to bring that program back to where it should be, and get to be a big part of that now. And you know, my family gets to be a big part of my life still. It just goes back and forth in the cycle. It's a win-win.
What is your vision for this program and returning it to the prestige you just talked about?
Well, you got to look at the things of the poor kids have gone through the last 3 years. Somebody listed it off to me the other day that they'd had in the ballpark of 37 different coaches over the last 3 years. So if you take a look at me and understand that, you know, I'm probably a product of where I come from, and I come from a very proud college program in the University of Saskatchewan, a program that's had great success and really breeds success, and there's a reason for that. Many of those coaches that are there were there when I played. They're still there. They were there 10 years before that, and they allowed continuity and consistency to occur. You know, that's one big part of it. You know, so you've got the ability to create that with very little turnover in the coaching staff. Secondly, they're great people who care. You know, they're great teachers, but they also care. And that's very important, I think, in anything we do in life. So within those two factors, you know, those two variables, the next step is to try and create accountability and really change the culture to where these kids are accountable, you know, to the communities they come from. They're accountable to the community they live in. It's up at SFU. They're accountable to themselves, and almost just as importantly, they're accountable to the game of football and respect the game of football. You know, really, that's in a nutshell what I'm striving to start to create a foundation of building from, and I'm pretty excited about it.
And of course, that means bringing in people who have a like vision. Have you started to put your staff together?
I started to put my staff together after I interviewed last week on Thursday. We're not going to make any announcements just yet, but it's coming together. Pieces are falling into place, and it's. Like I said, that's the amazing thing that I like, is that you seem to find those people, and they seem to slide into place and fit in there. And I've already got some great people that are going to commit, great teachers, people that have great ties to that program. You know, I really want to start to establish building inwards out, and that means starting right home here in BC and having that connection. You know, it's the lifeline, I guess, the bloodline of that program, of the recruits you bring in. And if that's true, then you know the lifeline of that program, of the alumni that you produce. And you're trying to create great young men that are going to go into whatever society they choose to go into and contribute in a positive way. And that's what we're trying to create. I mean, we're trying to create great people.
Kelly, obviously you've been a CFL guy for your career as a professional, but also as a coach. That was the career path you were headed down. obviously nobody saw you being released from the Lions. It caught a lot of us by surprise. When did you make the decision that you were going to commit yourself to the college route?
Well, I don't think that's really as simple as that. I mean, it was an interesting time. It was a time for me to really sit back and see how calm and cool and collective I could be and enjoy the time. I mean, I found out on December 27th that I would no longer be a part of the Lions, and that can hit you hard, or you can take that in stride and start to move on. And what I tried to do over the next month and a half is enjoy the time I had with my girls here at home. The professional coaching ranks, there's a ton of hours. I mean, it's unbelievable. And any rank of coaching, if you love it, there's a ton of hours. And it was a great opportunity for me to relax and enjoy my time with my girls. I mean, I got to walk my oldest to school every day and pick her up from school every day. I got to spend a lot of time with my 2-year-old, and it's nice to know that they know that daddy's around. And I think I really took advantage of that, and was really just waiting to see if anything would happen. And when this opportunity came around, it's like anything. You put a lot of deep thought into it. You feel it out and see if you fit into what is, the people that you're going to be working with every day from an administrative standpoint. And I felt that just in my conversations with the people up there, with the athletic director, Dr. Richards, and with all the people that work for under him, there's just a great synergy. And I was comfortable the second I stepped foot up there. And it was more that told me I was ready to commit to this.
You've been a Canadian Football League guy your entire playing career, and of course your coaching career. Is it daunting at all to go to NCAA rules?
That's an interesting question, because I can't tell you how many times I asked that of American coaches coming up here to coach in the Canadian Football League. And, more often than not, there's sort of two answers you get, and I find they really apply. The simple one is, there's one, when they would come up here, it's one more X, one more O. When I go there's one less X, one less O. There are obviously little subtleties in the game and the way it's played, and obviously the rules with the one less yard, the hashes being 7 yards apart, the shorter field, the field that isn't as wide, all those things, the lack of motion. I mean, yeah, it's a different game. But in the end, as a coach, we strive to be teachers. And to be teachers, we have to be students of the game. And if you are a true pro and you are committed to what you're doing, it doesn't matter what type of football you're going to coach. I mean, heck, I played 9-man football in high school. You're a student of the game, and you're going to put the work in to make sure that your kids are prepared and that everyone around you is prepared. So that doesn't really bother me.
You mentioned the kids. Have you had a chance to speak with the team? And if so, what feedback have you been able to get from them?
Yeah, you know what? I got to address the team on 2 different occasions, through the interview process, and then again after we, confirmed that I was going to be the guy. I got to speak with them, and now I've had quite a few of them come and sit down with me in my new coach's office with the intent to get across how they feel about everything. And you know what? It's a frustrated group of kids, and rightfully so. I mean, to not understand that and be realistic about it would just be denying what they've gone through. And there's got to be a level of trust established and built upon. And I don't expect that to happen overnight. I mean, trust happens by building, and that has to happen over time, and it has to happen through experience. So all I can do at this point in time is tell them what I'm about, and now it's my time to show them what I'm about, and try to build what I envision. And it's a great group of kids, man. I mean, it's a really good group of kids. And I've had some great, frank discussions with them, and I'm just hoping that they stick around and see that we could be the start of something great up here.
Hey, Kelly, I know you're just planting your SFU roots, but you've got great roots in this community already, and there's a lot of people around it rooting for you. Congratulations, buddy, and best of luck on putting together that project you've got in your living room right now, because I think that might be a bigger challenge for you.
I'm losing. That's all I can tell you. There's a lot of pink.
Excellent, my friend. Thank you very much for doing this.
Scotty, thank you so much, man.
Kelly Bates, the new coach up at SFU, talked about engaging the kids. He's got the right idea. It's about more than just football when you are talking university football in Canada. And yes, this is a team that competes in the NCAA Division II, but he talked about first and foremost churning out young men that are going to be productive members of society. That has to be part of the vision. Those are the types of guys you win with, of course, as well. You win football games with those types of guys if you build quality people and help build quality character. He's got to engage the alumni as well. And I've heard from some SFU alumni who are going to be reaching out to him, and that's good news for Kelly Bates. He'll get a helping hand. We'll get back